In sales, what are some of the lessons that I wish I would have known getting into them that would have made me a better salesperson and helped me close more deals, and why does it matter to you? This is an important question. I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from the North Shore of Oahu. I'm at Sharks Cove on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. Now, here's the thing. When it comes down to it, there is plenty of data that you could be using that's gonna really help you out. Now, today, 20 years later, I'm a huge data guy. Like, there's all sorts of things that you could put in a computer and help figure out when is the best time to close a deal, when is the best time to follow up, and how that can make you happen. So when I first started going to sales, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go run a sales call, I'm gonna go make it happen, I'm gonna give it my best effort. And then I started realizing, hey, wait a minute, I have prime times, I have my best time. I'm not necessarily a morning person. So when I was doing in-home sales, I went to them and said, hey, look, I'm not a morning person. Don't put me on morning calls. You know what? I would rather give that lead to somebody who's gonna close that deal. Give me the afternoon or give me the evenings. And I found that I had a prime time, and it wasn't the morning. And not every industry is like this, but you can set your schedule up to figure out what you can do. I also found in my industry, when I did in-home sales, Tuesday nights were the best night to follow up. I would get the most amount of interaction. I tested and I went through. I used data to my advantage. Right? I would keep track of weather trends. I would keep track of when in the month people had a higher tendency to buy than in the end of the month, right? The beginning of the month versus the end of the month versus the middle of the month. And there is a point where you can get dragged down and you could keep going after too many data points. I would say go after like 3 or 4. What's your prime time? Are you a morning person or are you the afternoon person? That's how you schedule your calls. Figure out when the best time is for you to follow up, when the best time is for you to talk to people. Like, you could definitely use data to your advantage, and with the new CRMs that are out there, and some of them are free, like, duh, why wouldn't you do it? When I was doing it like the early 2000s, I had to do it with postcards, like 3x5 index cards went in a box. And what would happen is, like, I'd make some phone calls, I would do some follow-up, and I'd have to move those cards accordingly in that box for when I was gonna talk to that person. Like, it had numbers, 1 through 31, and then it had months, and like I would consistently during the week have to go through and say, look, I've done all my follow-up, I've talked to all these people. CRMs do that for you now. So if you're talking about data, like, one of these things is data points for you is keeping track of information, who you've sold, who you haven't sold, how you followed up, have you texted them, have you emailed them, have you sent them a video, right? There's tons of things that you can learn, but data is huge, and it'll separate the men from the boys, the girls from the women. It'll help you close more deals. There you go. You got one thing to do from here, one thing. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. This is Scott Bell Consultant. Send out another fantastic video, probably from a cool location. Just gonna warn you, I travel a lot. Today I'm on the North Shore of Oahu. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. Aloha.